back like we never left. It's the Turf Toe Podcast. I'm your
We're
host,
here, baby. I'm
Hunter
Jackson
Gossett,
Stan.
co-host. I'm a co-host with Jackson Stanek.
I'm also a co-host with Hunter.
It's great. It's a great podcast. Hey, we're gonna basically what we're gonna do. We're just gonna talk about our fantasy football league that we're in. It's a Dynasty league. It's on the Sleeper app. It's great. We're gonna dive right in. We've got 12. It's a 12-man league. Jackson, do you want to go into more specifics of what we're working with here?
Sure, yeah. So we just started this league this year. We had our startup draft in May. We got 12 teams, 25 roster spots, 5 taxi spots. We're just going to kind of do a little podcast for the league members and maybe people who want to follow our league. We don't really know, but mainly for the league members. We're going to be going over what's happening. There's been some trades going down. We're going to have some predictions on who we think is going to win. Maybe some general football stuff, hot takes, who knows?
We love football. We're just two guys that love football, man.
Yeah, that's
In
all it
Turf
is.
Toe.
We're probably going to have on some friends from our league every week or however often we're going to do this podcast. Who knows? We've tried podcasts in the past. They've been fun. They've been way too long, so this one's only going to be about 20 minutes. So
We're hoping.
it'll only be 20 minutes, we promise. But yeah, so I guess we'll get right into it.
Let's dive in.
So last week was week 1 of football, as you all may know.
Man, I missed football.
It's been a while. It's been really
It's been
fun.
too long. And it was scary. They scared us this year. They said,
Yeah.
football may not come back. Well, I'm glad it did.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of heavy matchups. There's no preseason, so this was probably the most clueless anyone's been
True.
going into a week. I know, like, setting my lineup, I had no clue. Like,
I had a clue.
yeah, I mean,
Play the guys that you hope we score.
yeah, I mean, I tried to do that too. It didn't work.
Yeah.
I got pissed, went into my room like at 2:00 and but I came back out and
Love it.
ended up being a good day.
Let's get into some weekly reports on Sleeper.
Yeah.
You got best manager of the week goes to Jackson Waters. Give it up for Jackson, everybody. Wow. Congratulations. Worst manager, Hunter Bruce. Don't clap for that one.
No clap.
Biggest blowout, Tristan Denny.
Wow.
Schlacked
A little bit.
Tyler Arnold. Narrowest victory, T. Smoley barely eases one out on the best manager of the week, Jackson Waters. Hate to see it, but love to watch it. Highest scorer, of course, Tristan Denny. Lowest scorer, here it is, Jackson Stanek. Give it up for Jackson. He's on the podcast today. What a great host.
Hey, it happens.
Yeah. Biggest
Better week 1.
Yeah, that's true. It's just week 1. Below expectations, he missed his projected points by 21%. Austin Stacy. All right, yeah, that's those are our awards for the week. To go into detail of who won, do you want to take care of that, Jackson?
Sure. I mean, I guess we can just kind of go into like our most surprising victory, I'd say,
Okay.
or maybe
Sure.
like instead of kind of going over each matchup. So, do you have a most surprising victory, you would say, from last week?
Put me on the spot here. I'm not surprised Nick Hyde won. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Great team. I would say I'm surprised to see Tanner won.
Yeah.
He, of course, has Alvin Kamara, Melvin Gordon, but he had Robbie Anderson, who just went crazy.
That was kind of wild.
And, I really like Jackson Waters' team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like Patriots running backs. Do what?
Michael Thomas went down, so
Yeah, that's what he also had he kind of got bullied all game by the Bucks secondary. I watched the game. I thought it was bully. He really didn't do a whole lot.
Really.
But I really like Jackson's team. I don't like any Patriots running backs ever. I will never roster one until there is one singular running back and that probably won't happen until Bill Belichick's gone. So,
Damien Harris.
not a fan. Just like support you, man. I love you, but I just don't mess with Patriot running backs. What about you? Who's your favorite or your most surprising win?
I think my most surprising win.
It's probably me.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Go.
Not that either one of these teams is bad, but I just thought Grant Lang had one of the strongest teams, and I thought he would just come in and wreck people.
A little bit of a dud.
Yeah, a little bit of a dud. I thought he would do better. He didn't play Rodgers, who went off, but Bruce just had a pretty good week. Bruce's team is looking pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
So just surprising. I mean, we really didn't know anything going into week 1, but
we knew there was football.
Yeah, we knew there was football. Now we know a little bit, I'll say.
Yeah, sure.
Not trying to overreact to anything too early.
This is week 1 where you're supposed to overreact in week 1.
I'm trying not to overreact.
This is week 1 overreactions.
Yeah.
Don't take anything we say serious here.
Yeah, that's true. Please don't.
Or take it personal and try to whoop us. I don't care.
So let's get into a topic both of us are pretty familiar with, and that's trading. I feel like both of us have been in the middle of almost every trade so far.
How do you look at transactions?
If you go to transactions, there's a filter button.
No, how do you get there though?
Oh, league.
Team? Transactions. There it is.
There we go. Yeah.
There we go.
So I guess we'll start with our most recent trade. Happened this morning, actually. You traded Tanner Schmoll, McCole Hardman, a second-round pick this year, a fifth-round pick this year, and a first-round pick next year for Benny Snell. Can you just give us a little insight on why you did that?
Yeah. Excuse me. I don't have a whole lot of explanation for that. I really like Benny Snell. I don't think they're going to rock with James Conner, and I didn't want Tanner to have another week with Benny Snell because I know what happens in fantasy leagues. You have a player who like performs, and then you just get so attached that you're like above trading him. And I didn't really feel like McCole Hardman. He's like 22, but like I don't think I'm gonna ever really play him or get production out of him with the receiving core I have. And so I thought my running back room, per se, was a little old. Besides Ezekiel Elliott and Ronald Jones, and I just needed a viable backup. Sure, I gave up a lot of picks.
A first and a second rounder for Benny Snell.
Dude, what else was I going to do with those picks?
Draft another running back that could start.
Everyone's just going to roster everyone they want to keep, and then it's just going to be leftover scrubs. So it's not like, who am I going to pick?
Yeah, I mean, no one really knows how Dynasty is working yet. I don't know if anyone's played in one. Beans might have. I don't think.
I'm selling hard.
But, yeah, I mean, we're all playing it a little differently. So I guess we'll see whose strategy works out.
Yeah, let's go to the next trade.
The next trade was me and Grant Lang. Which I thought this was a pretty good trade. I know some
Is that
people,
the next one that was completed?
Yeah, me and Grant Lang. It was I got Austin Eckler and I gave him Odell Beckham Jr. and this year's third-round pick. So I wasn't like you may think that like, oh, Jackson got rid of Odell Beckham Jr. Grant actually came to me and was like, hey, do you want to trade him? And I was like, yeah, like I wasn't necessarily planning on trading him, but because he had 10 targets, Baker did throw to him a lot, but at the same time, the Browns are a terrible offense, and he could just be like the biggest just weight on your team. Like you don't know if you can ever play him.
Sure.
So I'm kind of glad I got rid of him, and I think
he'll get. I think he'll move on from Cleveland.
Yeah.
I don't think he really wants to be there, and I don't think that Baker's gonna like. I think I said this in our fantasy league chat. I don't think Baker's gonna be the starting quarterback much longer if he continues.
I don't know. I think it's just the Browns, to be honest. I mean, Baker didn't look good.
Sucks. Baker sucks, dude.
Yeah, who
He's like
knows?
5'10". Everyone's like he's the next Russell Wilson. He acts and plays nothing like Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I
He's
mean,
not fast.
he hasn't looked good since his rookie year.
He throws every ball about 90 miles an hour. Like that's not how you do that, bub. But that's just me.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
if Odell Beckham does move on, I think both of these players have around the same lifespan in the NFL. Odell Beckham's a little older, but he plays receiver. So,
sure.
but the Chargers will probably be bad, and the Browns will be bad. So, I don't know. I I'm interested to see how this plays out. The cool thing about the Dynasty League is we'll get to like think about these trades like 3 years back and be like, wow, like look how much this changed this person's team. So trading's super fun, and I
Yeah.
love it.
Is the next trade mine?
Yeah, so it's you and Stacy. This was another wild trade. It was. I feel like we've had nothing but big trades go on. But anyway,
That's how it
uh,
goes.
you received Ezekiel Elliott, who I feel like you were going to get eventually, for Leonard Fournette, J.K. Dobbins, this year's first rounder, third rounder, and next year's second rounder. So again, tons of picks. I think this transformed Austin's team into a different direction towards a rebuild to he is looking scary for the future. Like,
You think so?
yeah,
J.K.
dude.
Dobbins, I give you that.
Zach Moss, the Bills love the dude.
They also loved Devin Singletary last year, so
Yeah, who knows?
um,
And Antonio Gibson,
I do have one regret in this trade. I wish I would have found a way around giving up J.K. Dobbins.
it would have been possible without J.K. Dobbins. I
I
don't
think
think.
it would have.
Really?
Yeah, because this was before anything happened.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I
But I think that pick made it really clear on where you guys were heading this season. I mean, it's obvious that you're all in for this year, and it's
I'm
obvious
trying to be all in for this year.
you
Nobody.
drafted like you weren't going to be all in, which is the funny thing. I feel like,
You're saying I drafted more future.
yeah, to me, I was like, oh, Hunter is going for the future, and then you kind of had this switch towards this is the year. So who knows?
I got Ezekiel Elliott, and then I was like,
Yeah,
this is it. I gotta go in. Um, I feel pretty okay with that trade. If I could have kept J.K. Dobbins, my team would have been. I would. I would be the first to tell you that I'm gonna win every single year.
I mean,
I'm just kidding. I don't know, but
J.K.
nonetheless,
Dobbins is on the field a lot, looked pretty good already.
yeah,
So
yep.
he's on probably the best offense in the league.
All
Top
right, yeah.
offense in the league. So
Um, let's transition here
yeah,
to what are you thinking here?
you want to do season predictions?
Oh yeah, way too early predictions. I love that. Thank you, Jackson. Way
Sick.
too early predictions. Here we go. Let me look at the league real quick.
Yeah,
Look at the standings.
I have my top three. If you want me to start.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Are we doing
So,
top three, bottom three?
Uh,
Let's do it.
sure. Yeah, top three, bottom three. So I'll start with third place.
There you go.
Um, this is a guy I think has a solid team. So I did these before last week, and I'm just gonna roll with them. I think it's Grant. I think Grant Lang has the third best team. I mean, he has. I think it's mainly because of Dalvin Cook and Jonathan Taylor. I think Jonathan Taylor, with the Marlon Mack injury, is now a top 8 running back. I'd say. Scary duo, good receivers. Gronk looked terrible, but I think that running back duo is going to be dangerous this year. So I have him getting third to last. Okay, I'm gonna put myself. I'll be honest. I kind of did a weird draft strategy. I didn't draft for the future necessarily, but I didn't draft to win this year. I kind of drafted like young guys that were like kind of good. So I think I'll be teetering on playoffs all year.
All right.
So I think I'll get third to last. I'll say second place. I'm gonna go with. I'll go with you. I think you will get second place. I mean, your team is gonna live or die on the Cowboys, but I mean, it could pan out. It couldn't pan out, but I think you'll be able to win any given week, but lose any given week based on that. I'll say second to last. I'll go Nolan. Not that I think his team's bad, but he already forgot to.
Kenny Galladay.
So,
that was classic.
so Nolan could be strategically tanking and just trying to make us all think that
That he's like unaware.
he's just
Isn't that
unaware.
a strike one on him?
What?
Isn't that strike one on him?
That's strike one. I told him, and he said it won't happen again. So
Bull.
I don't. I think he'll be fine. But no tanking. But if anyone can pull that off, it would be Nolan. That'd be really funny. But yeah, so Nolan gets second last. I'll go with last place. I think it will be Stacy. I think he will successfully rebuild. He's already started to. So I think again he's going to be scary in the future, but this year I think he'll successfully get last place. And in first place, I have Nick Hyde. The dude's team's really scary. Lamar Jackson and Christian McCaffrey, I don't think I'd ever want to play them. Miles Sanders coming back. It's a guy I really like. I know I tried to trade for Miles Sanders just now before he started the year, but Nick wouldn't do it. But
Gotcha.
I think Nick wins. So that's my predictions.
I'm going to start I'm going to go 3-1
Okay.
on both the bottom. I'm going to do bottom first, third last place, second, and then dead last. I might have this guy lower. He won his first week. I just don't like his team. I don't really know the guy. I don't even remember what he looks like, honestly. I think Bean's team sucks.
Well,
From a fantasy perspective, that's just me.
pretty good.
Jimmy,
I don't like Mixon, but
he's okay, but he's not like your fantasy guy. You know, like he's not going to go put up 45. He'll never do that. He'll be like right around 15 every week. I think Joe Mixon is buns. Okay, I had him last year. Maybe I'm biased, but I think Joe Mixon is buns, man. Kenyon Drake, I love him. I think he's a good pickup.
Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams is great. Robert Woods gets a lot of targets. I think Darren Waller's going to have a poor year.
Why?
Just a feeling.
Okay. I think Beans is a contender, to be honest.
I think Beans is a bottom feeder right now. I don't like Emmanuel Sanders either. I don't think he'll get the targets.
I'm getting third to last.
Third to last. Okay. Second last, P-Dog. Yeah, that's right. I went with Nolan too. He's got a solid team. I don't like his tight end, Jared Cook. I think he's buns as well. I don't like James Conner. I have Benny Snell now, so that's why I don't like James Conner. I didn't like James Conner really before. I think he's like an old running back. And when I say old, I mean like generationally in the NFL. Like he's not quick. He's not fast. There's a difference. He's not a great pass catcher, in my opinion. And yeah, that's just how I feel on him.
The one thing about James Conner, and again, my reasoning towards like I don't think Benny Snell will necessarily get the job so quickly, is his team loves him. Like if you heard of like
who cares? You put the best guy out there.
You like talk about James Conner, they love him. Breaking news.
AJ Brown with a bone bruise. Could it be that it's turf toe?
Maybe.
It could be. We'll have to watch that one. Synchronized drink. I love it. You were saying something about James Conner being loved. I don't care. I'm going to move forward. Keenan Allen, not a fan. I think he's overrated. One of the most overrated wide receivers in the league. Moving forward, my dead last is my good friend, my compadre, just got married. Congratulations. Your fantasy team is Garbo. Austin Stacy. CJ Uzma starting. I didn't want to get into it. That's all I have to say. Number 3. Here's my number 3 prediction. Jackson Waters. What are you doing here?
I gotta take that.
I think this is a joke. I don't know. I'm gonna keep talking. Blind guy McSqueezy. I love his team, top to bottom, except for James White. I talked about that already. I think he'll have a great year. My number 2 finisher, Nick Hyde. I love his team. Lamar Jackson and Christian McCaffrey are going to be nuts on the same fantasy team. And, of course, I love that he has Greg the Leg. Go Cowboys. And then my first place finisher, my first place finisher, none other than Tristan Denny. I think Julio is great. I think Russell Wilson is great. I think Derrick Henry is great. I think Raheem Mostert is insane. I'm not a huge fan of David Johnson on his team, but I think it's like a viable RB2. And he's got the Steelers defense, who has been insane for 2 years in a row. And he's got Justin Tucker, and he's got Travis Kelce, and he's got Tyler Lockett, who's got that big playability. So I think Tristan takes home the win this year. You're welcome, Tristan. If I was handing out the way too early trophy, I would hand it out to you. Well, let's see. I guess that might just do it for the podcast. Sorry we lost Jackson along the way. Next time, we'll make sure that he doesn't quit on us. We're going to hand out a special award this week. Give it up for Peyton Lindsay. Now give it up for that guy. Hey, Denver's running back. He's the first person this year to get turf toe, and we here at the Turf Toe podcast, we love turf toe. So congratulations, Peyton. Hope it's a speedy recovery. You're just back for the outro, man.
Oh.
I gave an award to Peyton Lindsay.
Wow. It's
for turf toe.
Philip Lindsay.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Did I say something else?
You said Peyton.
Frick.
Oh, that's good.
Philip.
I
might have been saying Peyton Lindsay this whole time.
Did you go through the?
Yep, I did. Finished it all out.
Okay, sick. We're not doing the Fantasy Pros thing? Are we doing that next?
We're out of time.
All right, cool. That's it.
We're already at like 23. So, hey, thanks for tuning in, guys. It's been a pleasure. Turf Toe. Till next week.
See you guys.